is still going down. Welcome, everybody. Remember to hit subscribe on that YouTube channel, man. Listen, my guy right here, we talked to him one time over the HHF Awards. Make sure you go subscribe to the channel and look at that interview. We got him again over here, way over in Biloxi. So the grind is real, man. Holla at my folks, man. Let them know who we rocking with, bro.
Man, it's Gorgeous Musique in the building, man. It's the CEO himself, man. Gorgeous, man. I put up the Biloxi, Mississippi to the SCA Awards to rock with him, man. And my boy K-100 was in the building, man. I said, look at it here.
That's what's up, man. So welcome again. So the last time when we got you at the HHF Awards, our conversation was about music because it's a music kind of sort of based thing. But this time we ran into you out here at the SCA Awards, and we'll talk about the award show specifically. But you were on the panel for fashion. Now, you mentioned it, the first interview that we did, you mentioned that you did that, but I didn't really know the depths of it because we had a music conversation the last time in Atlanta. But this time, I heard a lot of what you said on the panel, at the fashion panel up here for the SCA Awards, and I found out a lot more about that side of the grind. I guess my first question to you is, before we talk about the extra SCA Awards, how do you kind of juggle it all? You got a label going, you got the fashion, you know what I'm saying? You was giving a lot of game up there, but how do you kind of manage it all, and make sure everything keeps going, running smoothly?
The main thing I do is I start off with other managers. I bring managers in to handle tasks, handle situations. I feel like a lot of times people are trying to do everything themselves, and that's where they kill themselves at.
Exactly, that's a good answer. Smart people understand that you ain't got to be the smartest person in the room all the time, but you can hire the smartest person in the room, and it may be better at it than you. You know what I'm saying? I think good bosses are good at managing people and delegating authority to the right people. You know what I'm saying? To make sure everything gets done. That's probably one of the best attributes. You know what I'm saying, that you can have. So, how did you get up with Gennaro and Jesse and everybody that's involved with the SCA Awards? Like, I didn't even know you knew about it because some people do, some people don't. But obviously you do. How did that partnership formate?
Well, starting off, man, big shout out to my head A&R, J Bags. He's actually from Baton Rouge. He's from around this side. So he came up with like, hey, we need to attend the SCA Awards. And then I seen some of the faces involved, and I was like, oh man, these people look familiar. I pulled in, I see my man Lex. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, okay. Some people in the building I really know and I rock with. So, it just became love, and then the panel was lit. And I guess you got some questions about that we're going to get to. Yeah,
I do, because you gave out a lot of game on there, man, especially about the fashion industry. You talked a little bit about, like, specifically when you were on the panel yesterday, which I know they recorded, so I'm pretty sure you can catch it on the SCA website at some point. I'm pretty sure, because I seen the cameras in there, so I know they recorded it. I don't want to misquote and say where you can, but I know that whole panel recording is going to be up and people should check it out. But you gave a lot of game about distribution, specifically about, what I'm saying. Then you also gave some game to artists about, the look and how much y'all talked about pricing. Y'all covered a lot. I don't want to rehash the panel again because we got a compressed amount of time, but you talked about so much. But I guess the main thing I want to ask you about is like the distribution methods. Especially you mentioned that somebody asked you a question about, look, they scared to deal with like people overseas. But from what I know and what I've always heard is that's where you get the stuff done for the lowest cost. But the trade-off is you might get ripped off. You know what I'm saying?
That's the catch, basically, man.
That's pretty much it.
So everybody knows in business it's always about how high is the risk. You know what I'm saying? So when you're spending your money, you're the investor. You have to take the loss. You know what I'm saying? You're responsible for it. So you got to make sure that you're cutting the amount of risk that you're taking. If you send a large amount of money overseas, some people say, okay, you send half and then we'll show you a video that is done and then you send under half. But see, the whole thing is I still haven't received it.
Right.
So I actually had seen a video of some done merchandise and I still never received it.
And what would be the point of them actually going as far as to make it, videotape it, and I don't know, but it's just
that's the question. Right. I spent the whole year trying to get it.
Never got it.
A whole year. I spent the whole year trying to get it. Whole year trying to convince, because I thought I seen it. Right. So it was like, if it's done, then why wouldn't you send me a done product? I just get everybody to understand that business, of course, is about risk. But what is the level of the risk?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When you're dealing overseas, if you can't go overseas on top of that, you just complicate things. You know what I'm saying? So one thing I tell people is to take in who you working with, building a relationship with them, and making sure you do good business, because no one wants to lose good business.
I also want to ask you one thing about, since you are a person that produces a brand and stuff like that, and you also have a label. How do you feel when you see artists spend so much money, not only outside of the culture, but to foreign designers and foreign clothes and stuff like that, but also talk about it in their songs and everything, kind of hype them up, kind of sort of hyping up the rich to get even richer. Now, again, I don't want to tell anybody how to spend their money, but to me, it's always kind of seemed like just so crazy that we got all these really dope black designers, people like yourself and other people that were here and that can really, give you, probably work close with the artists, have a better relationship, help them out, help they look, and actually be personal. How do you kind of like cut through the facade of the industry that foreign is better, Lucci, Gooey, everything is better, all that stuff is better than our own stuff that's made by our own people?
I mean, we're living in a world where 1% of the world controls the world, so that means that majority of everybody is followers. You know what I'm saying? So how do you change that? You change that by delivering on that level, you know what I'm saying, and keeping it consistent, because I know there is some brands that are growing like that, that are getting some traction like that. But we got to also remember these bigger brands like Gucci and Louis, like they spend a lot of money. They give these artists a lot of money. So, that's one thing that we got to start doing more as black people too, is we got to start investing more.
Right, back to the same people who will turn around and promote it for them. You feel what I'm saying?
Exactly. We gotta go give our own people the bag. We can't just try to get them to work something out with us because we coming up and this and that. Nah, you gotta go give them the bag.
That's a good answer.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta go get them back. Let me give you a best example. See what I'm wearing right now?
Right. What is it? Tell me about it.
X-Cross Culture. You know what I'm saying? That's PB, big PB shit, man.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm rocking, you know what I'm saying, artists that I work with, clothing at awards, man. You know what I'm saying? I support artists as well. You know what I'm saying? But like I tell everybody else, like, you gotta put your work in.
Right.
Everybody wants everything to be given and wants everything to be easy. You gotta put the work in.
Absolutely, man. You got to, man. And I think that it's really one thing that you really just said. I just want to key in on before we wrap up is the fact that you understand that in order for those working relationships to be fostered, you know what I'm saying, it's got to be a kind of a give and take, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, I guess that's like marketing. That's like an investment back. So I would like for some of the other people that's in fashion to kind of sort of understand that too, because a lot of times they want to charge artists for the clothes, but then the artist is going to put that same clothes on his YouTube or on his video and go and promote it. And one last thing, y'all talked a lot about y'all didn't touch it, and I was laughing a little bit because y'all was kind of going in a little bit about what y'all was saying about the expectations that people have, especially when you're talking about the video, the look. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not even really shooting the video for real. You're kind of playing with it and some of the craziness that you've seen on sets. Before we go, I guess maybe one last question I'll ask you. Since you got a label and you also got fashion, when you decide that you want to dress somebody or artist, maybe give them an outfit or whatever, what is it that you look for? I know you said you got people that do it, but you specifically, what do you look for? Like, how do you match the look and the fashion? Like, when do you listen to the music first and say, okay, I visualize it like that, or do you kind of look the person up and down and say, yo, that would be dope on this person? So y'all were talking about body types. What the other guy was talking about, if you're this kind of size, he gave some terms I never heard of in my life because I'm not in fashion. You know what I'm saying? But like, how do you decide all that stuff? You know what I mean?
I feel like where it starts is the artist's image. So however this artist's image is that we're developing, we're going to do everything around that. You know what I'm saying? If he's going to be a gangster, you know what I'm saying, do we want him as a fashionable gangster? Do we want him as a hood gangster? Like, what kind of gangster do we want? We're going to create everything around that. Gangsters drive these kind of cars. Gangsters rap to these kind of beats. You know what I'm saying? Gangsters dress like this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You want it to line up, if that's the agenda that you're pushing.
Right.
Because now that makes sense. So when you come to the audience of people that like gangster stuff, you know what I'm saying, then you're doing all the things that they already like, because this is what they like. This is what they look for.
Exactly, man. Well, we got so many interviews that we got to get to, so we have to keep it short, man. But before we go, man, I want you to tell everybody where they can find the clothing line, where they can find this gorgeous music, everything, man. Let my people know again. And if you want to know more about the music side of this guy's career, then you scroll on down and find Hip Hop Fraternity Awards. Look for the video that we did with him on that, and then you'll learn more about the label side. And so we got 2 interviews by him, so make sure you do that and also hit subscribe. But where can they find the grind at, bro? Tell them.
Man, you can go on any platform and look up It's Gorgeous, ItsGorgeousMusique. space GORGEOUS, and you'll see everything that we got from the radio station, the clothing, the record label, and just everything we're doing with the youth and everything. So you'll be able to find anything once you type in It's Gorgeous.
Yeah, and they got a lot more going on. We just compressed the time because we live right now at the SCA Awards, the 19th annual SCA Awards, man. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you scroll down and check out all the other interviews.
K-100 Radio.